What up, everybody? Ben back, and today we are doing a video that is long overdue. Today we are actually finally going to be talking about who I think is the most likely that Negan killed. And if you can read, which I hope most of you can, you will know who we are going to be talking about today, and that is, of course, Glenn. Alright, and as per usual, there will be spoilers contained in this video for the Walking Dead TV series and comic book series. Nothing new, guys. You should know that by now. So, right away, we're going to be talking about the first introduction of Negan, which was in the Season 6 finale, and it has sparked a lot of controversy online. I personally do not think that this cliffhanger is all that bad. I'm fine with it, but I know most people aren't. So I guess let's just get right into it with our very first lines of Negan, which are exact from the comic book straight onto the show.
Pissing our pants yet? Boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close. Gonna be PPP.
So then after Negan walks out, he lines up the survivors in a row and proceeds to play eeny, meeny, miny, moe with them. During this, he lands on Glenn in the comic book series, and then proceeds to beat his head in with a baseball bat. Glenn tries to scream out for Maggie, we'll talk about that later. Eventually, after Negan says he's taking it like a champ, he does, before he gets cracked in the face again, and is beat to death. So, that is one of the most, if not the most, iconic comic book scene ever. And that's why a lot of people are mad about this cliffhanger, is the fact that they broke it up into a cliffhanger the way they did. So, other than that, other than the obvious reason of Glenn's the one who died in the comic, why do I think he'll die in the show? Well, let's go through it. There's been foreshadowing to his death for a long time now. From when he held the bat at Noah's community, he was almost killed at Terminus. He did eventually kill somebody, something that his comic book counterpart never did. And I think that could be him kind of signing his death wish right there. And finally, the fact that he does see all of the Negan victims on the wall, possibly foreshadowing his death. And I guess it is kind of Glenn's time after all. He's lived through quite a lot, more than probably almost any other character other than maybe Rick in the show. And so I guess maybe how much can he honestly survive and the show still be realistic? And then beyond that, we do get some familiar comic book imagery in the episode, possibly also showing that it is him who dies. And I'm gonna not only focus on the fact that it was the comic book thing in this video. Don't worry. As I've already showed, it's been foreshadowed in the show. So from here, here's our first piece of major evidence, is the way Negan looks. When he says he'll cut, when he says if anyone does anything, he'll cut Carl's eye out and feed it to Rick, he turns, I guess that's to his right, and that kind of signals that Carl's on his right. and that means that that means that he's on the left of Carl, right? And that's important because Glenn is also on the left of Carl.
I should just put you out of your misery right now.
No! God! God!
Nope. Nope, get him back in line.
No. No! 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 Don't!
All right, listen. Don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. First one's free. It's an emotional moment. I get it.
Now, here's our next major piece of evidence, is that Negan already doesn't like Glenn. As you see here, Glenn tried to attack Negan, and although Negan did kind of pass it off as, he did give Glenn a pass here, I feel like he still does not like Glenn. Now also we will be analyzing the scene, as seen here. I found this picture online somewhere, and it does bring up an interesting point. It brings up the point of the darkness and the way the light that they shine on Rick's group, the survivors, kind of maybe gives us a hint as to who dies. If you look on the picture, you see that the light when Negan is killing somebody is on his right, on the right side of his face, and on the right side of him is where all the characters who aren't Glenn are. So, it is likely that it is Glenn who dies due to that. Also, we have this thing that I came across online. And I don't know what to think of this. I don't know if it's real or fake. It looks to be real, but could that just be a walker head that Michael Cudlitz was screwing with, and a different picture of Stephen Yeun from a different episode? Probably, yeah, but still maybe noteworthy. Maybe that is a head cast of Stephen Yeun with the head all bashed in from Negan. And then this picture of Stephen Yeun on the bottom with blood all over his face, although I think I may know what that is. If we remember way back to when No Way Out came out, the episode, Stephen Yeun released this picture on Instagram. Now they are very similar. If you look in the bottom corner, you see there's blood all over his face here, there's blood all over his face there, sort of. He's more bruised than bloody, I guess. But the only thing that leads me to believe that it's not the same night is that the fact that the scars are missing from one photo to the next. So, I'm hoping that it is that night and that it is not Stephen Yeun after the episode being dead. So, now we will look at one of the more crazier theories, which is the rock theory that I have seen online, where there are two stones that people have overanalyzed, possibly saying that during the POV shot when the head drops, we see these stones and that they are in front of Glenn. However, there are tons of rocks all over the ground, so I don't know if we can take their word for it. Like I said, this is definitely 99% overanalyzation and in end misleading us. Now, here's a big thing, is that the Negan audio that we heard in the leaked thing that came out slightly before the episode was different than the Negan audio in the episode. Now, let's analyze that, shall we? Here is the slowed down version of the Negan original audio. Now, I know when I very first heard that, I was sold. I was like, dang, my favorite character just died and I just listened to it. But I would actually like to offer up some possibly Glenn fan life-saving information. And I know this is supposed to be a video of why Glenn died, but it is kind of important that we look at both sides of it. So I do think that a lot of the audio there that people interpreted was probably correct, and maybe the cast was lying when they said they didn't know who died. They were probably lying when they said they didn't know who died. So maybe it is Glenn and that these people were right. But this whole Mag thing that Glenn's saying Mag, trying to say Maggie in the audio clip, which is something that happened in the comic, as I showed earlier. As I said, we'd come back to it, now we did. I'd like to discredit that, so let's listen to it slightly more sped up. So now listening to it slightly faster, things start to fall into place more. But, maybe I'm not sold. Maybe I don't know what that whole Mag thing was. Maybe I still believe it is Glenn trying to say Maggie. Well, let's listen to it at full audio, or at full speed, shall we? And I think that is very important that we were just able to find out what that whole Mag thing was. No, it was not Glenn saying Maggie. It was, in fact, Negan saying, "Look at that." So there we go. We just disproved one theory. The other parts of the audio are a little bit pushing me towards the Glenn died side, but at least we know that that isn't the case in that specific section of the audio clip.
Anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. Hell, you're all gonna be doing that. Taking it like a champ.
So that was, of course, the infamous Negan POV shot, where we saw all of the theories come into play. If you slowed it, if I was able to take the time to slow it down, we would have seen the rocks. We saw the darkness on half of Negan's face. We heard the unedited, or we heard the actually, I guess that might have been the edited audio for the episode with the cutout screams. Now we kind of see it all coming into place. Yes, I do think it is Glenn, but I think that audio thing may have been misleading, may have been tampered with, I don't know. I'm just saying that the other two theories that we discussed have played out right there on screen. Now, moving on, we get by far the most compelling Negan theory yet. Now, I came across this on the YouTube comments of a Trev's Chan video. If you don't know who Trev Chan is, go check out Trev's Chan too. He does way better Walking Dead content than I do, and he's really good. So go check him out. But just read this theory that I was able to found. Stick rhymes with Rick. Oh man, Michonne uses a katana. Japanese use katana. Glenn's Asian. Yeah, that's pretty funny, guys. I thought I had to add that one when I saw it. I screenshotted it immediately and thought that'd be something funny to throw into a video at some point. Now, here is probably the most compelling piece of evidence of why Glenn will die yet. And that is that Steven Yeun is signed on for 2 different movies. Yeah, that's right, 2 different movies. And if you look at the top here, you do see that I have status unknown marked at the top. That is his current status on the Walking Dead Wikipedia page. So it's not just me who thinks he's gonna die. Now, if you look, he's in a movie called Mayhem that comes out 2016. Basically, he's the main character who gets infected with this like wonder drug and loses his job. So now we kind of know that, yeah, Steven Yeun's in South Korea filming. It's currently filming right now. So now we kind of know that, yeah, maybe that was a huge mistake that they released that information, because it sounds like he's going to die. Walking Dead just started filming last week, which is the whole reason I'm doing this video, is because Walking Dead just started filming, I think it was actually this week. So they started filming this week, and spoilers are bound to come out. So I might as well get my thoughts on who Negan killed out as fast as I can. Then we also see he is in another South Korean film, Okja, which comes out 2017. There is currently no plot for this movie, but he is, I think he's like 3rd or 4th on the IMDb page, so at least there we know he's not the main character. He's just a character in it. So what do I think about all this? The fact that it's in South Korea, the fact that it's filming currently, leads me to believe that Glenn is dead. I know Norman Reedus filmed 999 during Walking Dead, and he is currently filming Ride with Norman Reedus during Walking Dead, but that is in the US, and that is in Georgia on a more local to Walking Dead level. So I think this is some big evidence saying that Glenn will die. So now we've wrapped up the video. Glenn died in the comic. There's the lighting, leads us to believe that Negan's near Glenn's side. The rocks that people overanalyzed. The original audio, possible original audio I should say. The fact that he's filming in 2 different movies in South Korea. It just leads us to believe that Glenn is dead. So now it's time for me to ask you, what do you guys think? Is this the most predictable cliffhanger ever? Did they kill Glenn in the Walking Dead Season 6 finale and make us wait all the way until next year to find out? It's looking like it. Or not even next year, just until October. But yeah, it's looking like it. I would say Glenn is the most probable person to die, as I know a lot of you people do too. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and make sure you like this video, and if you want to subscribe you can. No one's making you. I don't post great content in the first place, so you probably shouldn't. Just being honest. So at least thank you all for watching. I'm D-Man out.